Hi, welcome to my station today. And we're going to be talking about two stages of financial freedom. One of the illustrations we are going to or we're going to use during this session is the example of a tree, growing a mango tree. We'll get to that. Before then, let me just ensure that I'm live on all the platforms. All right. So, again, the topic for today is what? Stages of financial freedom. Let's get into it. First of all, if you've been following some of the videos I've been doing, I really hope this is not the first video you have seen, but if it is, no problem. I'm still going to carry you along. All right. I always say that the reason there are many people who have not been pursuing financial freedom before now, like true financial freedom before now, is that many people did not understand what financial freedom is. Like, we just have the idea. Yeah, there's something called financial freedom. But by the time somebody now say, what exactly is financial freedom? Then you see that, well, you don't have a definition for it. You don't know what it is. So you can't pursue it. You can't pursue what you do not understand. Right? So again, financial freedom is having enough resources to cover your expenses now and in the nearest future so that you can pursue your purpose. All right. However, there are two stages. And okay, let me tell you the stages. Stage one is planting time financial freedom. Stage two is harvest time financial freedom. All right. Write it somewhere. Write it somewhere. Hope you have your notes. I have mine here. I have mine here. All right. And I hope you have a note that you can jot some of the things I'm saying down. That will help you to remember. So the two stages of financial freedom is what? The first one is planting time financial freedom. The second one is harvest time financial freedom. Why is it important for you to know these two stages? Okay, so it's important for you to know these two stages because if you don't know these stages, you won't know where to start when it comes to pursuing your financial freedom. You won't know where to start. You don't have a starting point. All right. And worse is that if you jump to the second stage, which is harvest time financial freedom, because harvest time is the one that people easily see. Like, if you think about it, we are going to be referencing planting, farming and all of that today in this session. So if you think about it, like, most times when farmers are planting, the seed is on the ground and so many things are happening, nobody really envy them, right? When you really start getting interested is when, you have the tree, you have the fruits and everything. So everybody's kind of like admiring you. So the most people, when you see them, when you begin to admire them, people that have true financial freedom, they are at their harvest time financial freedom. So it's like everybody, when they think, some people, when they think of financial freedom, they think of the harvest time financial freedom. However, if you jump to harvest time financial freedom, which is stage two, you're going to miss it. All right. So it's really, really important for you to understand the two stages, which is what we are going to be discussing in this session. All right. So let me give you an example. Let's illustrate the example using a mango. All right. So do you know what a mango is? I'm sure you know. If you don't know, you can search for it online, right? So that you can refresh your memory. I don't want to assume that you know. So mango is a very popular fruit in several parts of the world. So now I want you to think of a mango. And this is a very good example because you have the mango, then you have the mango seed, then you have the mango tree. All right. So there are other fruits that maybe don't have that same exact characteristic. So that's why I chose the mango to explain this to you. Think of a mango. When you have a mango and you want to you want to create lots of mangoes from it, right? You want your farm to blossom with mangoes, to bear fruits. What are you going to do? You're going to take the seed, mango seed, you're going to plant it, you're going to water it, take out the weeds and everything, nurture it, it grows into a plant, then it grows and grows into a tree. Okay, that's the planting time. Now there's also the harvest time, which is when that mango tree start bearing fruits. And if you're familiar with how mango works, even if you're not familiar, don't worry, I'm going to explain it to you. Is that the mango bears fruit this year? There's the mango season, and then it gives a little bit of time, and there is another mango season, and this happens year in, year out, forever, or until the mango tree dies, maybe get cut down or uprooted or whatever. So so that is mango. It starts from seed, you plant it, you nurture the farm and everything. It grows into a tree, then the tree bears fruit and keep bearing fruit year in, year out. That's actually how mango works. The life cycle of mango works. So how does this relate to you and your financial freedom? When it comes to the stage one of financial freedom, that stage one is uh let me tell you how it relates to you and your financial freedom. Is that in you have a gift, right? You have a gift in life, and so there is a season for you to identify the gift, refine the gift, refine the gift, turn it into an enterprise. It could be a for-profit enterprise or a non-profit enterprise. That period is considered the planting time, and you need a financial freedom that covers that phase. And that is what we call planting time financial freedom. Having the resources to take care of you, to cover your bills and expenses, your living expenses during this time when you're identifying, refining, and deploying your gifts to the world. All right. Now you also have a time where your business has started working, right, and is making money. You hire people to come help you produce more, to increase your capacity. You produce more and more gift. You are helping people. Your business is making an impact in the world, which is more like the fruit of that business, right? So that time is harvest time for you as an individual and for your business. However, right, it is harvest time, but you still need financial freedom. You still need financial freedom during this phase. Just having a business does not necessarily guarantee financial freedom, because if you have a business and you do not have financial freedom, there are many people who have businesses and they're still struggling. All right, there are many people who have businesses and yeah, they have businesses, but the business is not really funding them. They are owing workers and all of that. So having a business is not the same thing as having a business that have financial freedom, or having financial freedom with your business. So financial freedom at this phase where you have an enterprise is called harvest time financial freedom. So you need both. And I mentioned that for most people, you get to see people at their harvest time when they already have a business that is blossoming, and you're like, oh my God, I want to be like this. And from wherever you are, you immediately want to jump to be the person who has a business that is blossoming, and that's where you miss it. This is why it is important to understand that there is stage one and stage two financial freedom. There is planting time financial freedom, and there is harvest time financial freedom. All right. So I've already explained to you. So let me summarize it now. So what will now be the planting time financial freedom? What will be the planting time financial freedom is having enough resources to cover your living expenses during the period that you are refining your gift and turning it into a business. Why having harvest time financial freedom is having having enough resources to cover your operational expenses in future, in case there's a downtime in your business, or something did not go as planned, or there's a change in the economy and stuff like that, right? So those are the two financial freedom that you need. And when you join them together, they will make what I call financial freedom continuum, which is like, just imagine a straight line, which means, like, instead of financial freedom being a thing, it is more like a line, right? So in that line, different people are at different stages. So let me say, let me use this. So instead of financial freedom being a thing, it is more like a line. So some people are, let's assume that this is the beginning. Let's assume this is this is the planting seed financial planting time financial freedom, and this is the harvest time financial freedom. Okay. So some people are anywhere on this line. Some people are here, some people are here, some people are here, some people are here, some people are here. Like financial freedom is not one specific thing. All right. So that said, now let's go to where are you in this financial freedom continuum? Where are you? Because here I've defined what it is, but where are you? Let me help you find it. Okay. Now, if you are listening to me, if you are listening to what I'm saying right now, and you currently hold a regular job, you're an employee in an organization that is not your own, right? So you hold a regular job, even if you're a freelancer. The most important thing is that you kind of work for others. You don't have your own purpose-driven business. Then what that means you should be chasing stage one financial freedom. You should be chasing planting time financial freedom, which means you are looking for how you get the resources that you can use to cover your expenses so that you can go work on your gift, refine it, and turn it into an enterprise. Okay. So again, if you are an employee working for others, you're a freelancer, you don't really have your own business, this is where you belong, and you should be chasing stage one financial freedom. What if you have already started your own purpose, I would say purposeful enterprise? When I use the word enterprise, it can be a for-profit business, but it can also be a not-for-profit business. Like they call it different names in different regions, right? And I know I'm talking to people all over the world, so I'm trying not to use a name that is just specific to a region. Like in some region, they'll call it non-governmental organization. In another region, they'll call it like not for profit or non-profit or something. So the enterprise can be for profit or not for profit. That's totally fine. All right, because everybody is different. What moves all of us are different. But the important thing is that even a business that is not for profit still need money in order to sustain itself. True of us. True. All right. So now, if you have started your own purpose-driven enterprise, your focus should be achieving harvest time financial freedom. All right. Achieving harvest time financial freedom. Okay. So now, what if you are in between? So you can see some people that maybe they are not freelancers, they are not employees. Maybe let's start with, let's say you have a business, all right, but that business is not a purpose-driven business, which means it is not your purpose on earth that is driving that business. So let's say, let me give you an example. You have a regular business that's still like a regular thing, and the real goal is just to make money. That's just it, just to make money. That business is not driven by your purpose on earth. That's not why you started the business. You started it just to make money. So if you're in that situation, what that means is that figure out how you are going to bring out money to achieve planting time financial freedom, so that you can then go and start your purpose-driven business. All right. So if you are in between, that means you have not started a purpose-driven business, but maybe you're not even an employee or something, right? Wherever you are in between, you should still focus on getting planting time financial freedom. I'm saying this way. I want you to understand that some people have what it takes now. They already, like, they have resources that they can dedicate towards covering their planting time financial freedom. Like, they have it. So when I say maybe you have a business and you should focus on planting time financial freedom, it does not mean go and start looking for money anywhere else. It could be the money you already have and you're like, yeah, this is enough for my planting time financial freedom. So instead of me stuck in this business that I'm just doing for the sake of money, how about I take the money that I have now and I use it to fund my planting time? Do you see the point? So and there are also people who are doing businesses that they're already making money, and it looks like, well, this stock is not for you. No, it's for you. Because I'll tell you something. Have you heard some people say something like this? Money does not bring happiness. Have you heard somebody say something like that? or maybe you have seen it in a blog, you've seen it online, money does not bring happiness. Do you know why they say so? You know why they say so? They say so because the source of that money is not purpose driven. They have a business that just helps them to make money, but is not connected to their purpose on earth, to their gifts, to what they are doing with their gifts in order to help humanity. When you are making money and that money is not connected to your purpose on earth, that is when you see people saying things like money does not bring happiness. Because if you are doing a purpose-driven business, if you are doing a purposeful business, just the fact that you're doing that business is what brings satisfaction. And you will still make money. And you will still make money. All right. So, I'm just trying to explain that some people who are already doing business may have to may have to put an end to that business and start working towards creating their purposeful enterprise. That's my point. All right. Now let's go to the question. Can you start a purposeful business or a purposeful enterprise if you do not have planting time financial freedom? Theoretically, the answer is yes, which means what that means is that if you reason it logically, it's kind of, you can say, yeah, you can start, just start, which is what people say, right? But practically, the answer is I do not recommend. I do not recommend is the answer. All right. Let me tell you why. You'll be unable to focus. Most of the people who tell you that you can be doing every other thing you are doing while focusing on a business is because they've not tasted entrepreneurship. Real entrepreneurship consumes you, consumes your brain space. So when there is something else that is occupying your brain space and you think that when you come back from work at night or during the weekend, you are just going to you are going to spend one day during the weekend to work on your business. It's not going to work. Secondly, it will take you so long. If it is even going to work, it will take you so long for it to work. All right? It's going to take you years for it to work, except you are not building a purposeful enterprise. Okay? If you go somewhere and find a franchise that somebody already started and you use it and your goal is to make money, maybe you can start that, right? But that is not your purpose on earth. Except you are telling me that it is. That's what it is. I'm not going to argue with you on it, but I'm saying that for most people it's not, right? Okay, so you are unable to focus when you start when you don't have planting time financial freedom and you're trying to juggle it with other things. All right, and also most people, what they do is that they don't have planting time financial freedom, and instead of saving and investing their planting time financial freedom before they begin, they feel like, oh no, I'm just going to go out there and look for somebody to give me money. Smart, right? Talk to me. Smart, right? No, I'll tell you why. The reason is because once you go outside to find external funds, especially at the early phase of starting a purposeful enterprise, all right, most funders, what is their number one priority? Making money. So they are going to partially change or fully change the vision of that your business, the vision of that enterprise. They're going to change it for you. Because you have a purpose, you have a vision that is driving your business, but you want to go and get money from somebody, especially at the early stage, because the early stage is the stage where you are still forming the idea, refining the idea, right? So at that stage, it is very, your dream, your purpose is your purposeful enterprise is very sensitive it's sensitive, right? So before you know, once you say you want to go out and get money to start that business, they're going to change the vision for you. If you're arguing with me, you probably haven't tried raising funds before. You haven't tried applying for grants before. You haven't tried applying for loan before. Because if you have, you know what I'm talking about. When you say you want to do this, they're going to say, no, 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 but we need you to say this before this funding can get approved. So you need your planting time financial freedom so that at least you can shape your idea, shape it. Even if you will need funds as you expand, that's still okay, that's still doable. But because you already have an idea that you have left the idea stage. So you don't want to be collecting money when your business is still, or your enterprise is still like the idea stage, right? It can be changed. But once you have groomed it into something, it's easier for you to go and take money from somewhere. Because now, if they want to change your vision, you will have the mind to say no. You continue going until you find somebody that align with what you're doing. All right. So you need planting time financial freedom. If not, your dream can be destroyed at the early stage by funders. Funders play a critical role, but most of them are driven by money. Many purpose-driven businesses may not initially fit what most funders are looking for. Funders, F-U-N-D-E-R, people who fund businesses, be it loan, be it equity like VCs or angel investors, as the case may be. Okay, so for somebody may say, well, my business is my enterprise is a not for profit, so I'm not really looking for those funders that are focused on money. Thank you very much for saying that. Thank you very much for saying that. Now, there are many not-for-profit business enterprises that how they succeed is that they have to write proposal to offer a program, and then they get funded for it by an organization, by the government, by donors, as the case may be. All right. Again, if you just create an organization and feel like you're just going to go out there and find government and find donors who will give you grants, the problem is that donors don't necessarily come in and say, change your vision. How it happens is that you will see a grant for a particular program and you will write for it and you apply for it. In the application process, in the grant writing proposal, this is where you will use your own hand and change your vision to match what the donor is looking for. Again, you need planting time financial freedom, because if not, when you are starting your purposeful enterprise, be it for profit or non-profit, it can be destroyed at that stage. When I use the word destroy, some people think, oh, it means you won't move forward. That's not what I'm saying. When your enterprise shifts from what it's supposed to be focusing on to then begin to focus on something else, it has been destroyed, because that purposeful enterprise you wanted to bring to earth is no longer what you are doing. It's no longer what you're doing. Okay, so I want you to know that you actually need this planting time financial freedom, especially if you believe that you need to start a business or a not-for-profit enterprise to help humanity that is built around your gifts. Okay, that is built around your specialness. So what's your gift? Your gift is your specialness, is your natural talent. All right. All right. So now let's see. What about harvest time financial freedom? Is it really necessary? Can you be running your business without having harvest time financial freedom? Yes, you can, but it's dangerous. Because why is it dangerous? It's dangerous because when there is a business downtime without financial freedom for that enterprise, it is easy for your enterprise to fail. Be it for profit or not for profit. There are businesses that there was a downtime, before you know it, they couldn't pay workers, they have to sack people, and that's it. Or a non-for-profit, it is at this point, like, even though you have started the organization, your vision can change, which I also still consider death, because you're no longer doing what you set out to do. Death of an organization, death of a purpose-driven business is different from evolving. Yes, you can always evolve. You understand better. You understand what you're saying, what you're doing better. Your prospective, the people you serve, your prospective customers, we tell you, you understand their problem more, so you refine your solution. These are all within normal range. But I am saying when you have to go focus on something else, even if that organization is still alive and the workers are still there, the purpose-driven nature has died. Because when we talk about purpose-driven businesses, we don't just mean a business or an enterprise that is helping the world. That's not what it means. No, 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 no. The definition of purpose-driven business is an enterprise that you started for the sake of fulfilling your purpose on earth. So even if you are doing something impactful, but that thing you are doing is not aligned with your own purpose on earth, that enterprise has failed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So failure is not that you stop being impactful, no. But if you start making a different impact, different from the one you came to here to make, different from the one that is very aligned with your natural talent, which is, your source of purpose, you can be making money, you can be helping people, but you won't still feel fulfilled. You won't feel fulfilled. Okay. So you need harvest time financial freedom because it will help you when there is downtime. When there is business downtime is a very interesting period for a business, because that's when you start accepting investors that do not align with your purpose. That's when you start, the business can go bankrupt because you couldn't find people who will understand the business enough or understand your vision enough to fund it. Or you may be forced to start afresh, which is very, 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 very tough, especially when you're starting afresh and you don't have any reserve. Part of the reason for having harvest time financial freedom is, should anything happen to your business, you have enough money, number one, to weather the storm. Number two, should it be that you will need to transform the business, you have enough resources to go straight into transformation. But if you don't have that money, you will go and start afresh and start looking for planting time financial freedom again. Okay. So this is really serious. This is really serious. It's very important for you to understand the two stages of financial freedom, to understand what each of them is meant for. Also, to understand where you are in the financial freedom continuum, so that you know what to focus on. Are you an employee who needs to be focusing on, or a employee or freelancer who needs to be focusing on getting planting time financial freedom? Do you currently run a purpose-driven business or enterprise who need to focus on harvest time financial freedom? Right? Where exactly are you in that continuum? Or are you a business owner who is making so much money but still feel empty? Who needs to take their profit, channel it towards planting time financial freedom, and start from there? All right. Now I have something I want to tell you, which I'm sure you must have heard this. Do you know that sometimes you hear some people who have very big businesses, they will say things like, oh, when we started from my parents' basement. Have you heard something like that? Comment, let me hear. Have you heard something like that? When you see somebody saying that, what they don't realize that they are telling you, and what you don't realize that you are hearing, is that they were saying they may not have had money, physical cash. But remember, financial freedom is about resources. It's not, resources include money and other things. So think about it. Imagine somebody has a basement, a place to start, which is like an office space in their parents' house, which also means they are sleeping in their parents' house. They have a roof over their head, which most likely means they are eating their parents' food, which means they can eat, which also means their parents is the one paying their utility bills. So even though they don't have cash in the pocket, right, they have these resources to cover the planting season, which is what? The season where they identify their gifts, refine their gifts, deploy it into creating a purposeful enterprise. So when next you hear somebody saying something like, I started this business in my parents' basement, they are indirectly telling you, I got a special kind of planting time financial freedom that allowed me to start, even though I didn't have cash. So I'm using this to buttress that financial freedom is not only about cash, it's about resources. If you have a friend, you can go to their place and stay for 2 years in their basement. I'm just giving an example, without paying or paying half the normal rent. That is a kind of resources. But obviously, there are people who also don't have this, right? Which means you have like your way forward is to save money. But I'm trying to point this out so that, because I'm sure there's somebody who is listening to me right now who may have these resources, but without me calling your attention to it, you may not even know that these resources, they are part of your they are part of the resources that you can use or that you can dedicate towards financial freedom. So if you have a place that is covering your rent, then when calculating the money you need for, let's say, planting season, you don't need to add your rent. So you will see that you need way little compared to what you will have needed if you needed to pay rent to somebody, right? So I'm calling your attention to also look at the resources you currently have. Financial freedom is not only about cash, it's about resources, which include cash. You know, you also know that as the founder of Investornomy, one of the things we work on is helping people reach financial freedom faster by teaching them how to invest in stocks, to be precise. By teaching them how to invest in stocks, which can help them reach financial freedom faster. So what does this mean? For example, let's say you are saving for 2 years, 3 years, living expenses for your planting time financial freedom. Somebody may be saving for 3 years, but another person can invest 1 year to let's say 18 months living expenses. But having it invested means that money continues to grow even during the time they are saving it. Do you see the point? So when you are investing the resources, especially if it's cash, when you are investing it, you get to financial freedom faster than if you are just saving it in the bank. Saving it in the bank means you have to save so much. Investing means you have to probably save like half of what you need. But by investing it, it grows. All right. So we teach people how to invest their way to financial freedom through the stock market. So I have also included the link to a free workshop that talks about that, like that talks about how it works. All right, to this video. So if you like, feel free to register for that workshop too, because this is one way to get to financial freedom faster. Whether you are at the stage where you're looking for planting time financial freedom, or you're at the stage where you're looking for harvest time financial freedom, which means maybe you have a business that you own, right? That the money you are putting aside for financial freedom can be invested. So let's assume you put out 2 years or 3 years operational expense money, and you put it, instead of keeping it in the bank and it remains that, when you invest it, every year is growing. So from 2 years operational expenses, it grows to 3 years, it grows to 4 years, it grows to 10 years as the years go by. You see, so we show you how to achieve financial freedom faster, how to invest your way to financial freedom. All right, how to get there faster by investing that money instead of just keeping it in as raw cash in your account. So feel free to attend that workshop too. So here is the food for thought for you. All right. So now I want you to know that there are people, this food for thought, there are people that you and your business are supposed to help to achieve their own purpose in life. Your failure to achieve your own purpose is going to impact them. It's going it may mean that they will take so long. Think about, let's say your business was supposed to help somebody get something on their way as they're moving on edge, right? And now you are not able to start that business. You're not able to go out there and offer your gift to these people, even if it's in exchange for money. Because of you, they too will find it difficult to achieve their own purpose. So it's as if like other people propose, or other people propose are depending on your impact. So for their sake, you need to succeed. For their sake, you need to succeed. Okay, so um, I hope that with what we have talked about today, when it comes to the stages of financial freedom, that you have understood it. And if you have any question, feel free, right? Let me drop my email here. Just a moment. If you have any question, feel free, send me an email at admission@investornomy.com. I'll be very happy to answer your question. Admission@investornomy.com. If you have a question concerning what has been discussed on this video, or any other thing, maybe around the space of investing in stocks or investing in the stock market. All right. Take good care of yourself till I see you again.